Yo, what's up? So Kotaku, your mass-produced, low-quality source of gaming news. These guys, because of the way they operate, they end up having a lot of very L takes and just things being said that are really stupid, and they have more drama. Of course, there's more drama, and it's a video by Moist Critical, his second channel, but that doesn't matter because basically a first channel video just framed differently. Look, the camera lighting is different. In his videos, usually the shirt is kind of like fully white. In this one, you see it has like a blue tint to it, so that's how you know it's a second channel video.
Hello, Moist Charlie Clips family. Today we're going to do something very brave, go where no one else has dared go.
Yeah. This is the first time I've ever heard a person be brave enough to cover Kotaku news
So get ready to
on
pat
YouTube.
me on the back for my bravery. Kotaku is trash.
Whoa, bro, you can't say
your
that.
applause.
That is a crazy, bro. That is a crazy take. That's gonna get you canceled.
There's probably a lot
No
of
shot. You just said that.
applause in the crowd. You know, I'm saying the quiet part out loud right now. Everyone is too afraid to criticize Kotaku. Obviously.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm kidding. Kotaku is probably like the most embarrassing gaming news outlet.
I like
there
Charlie
is.
videos.
Its name has become synonymous with cringe and also just horrible journalism entirely in the industry. It's very rare that I'll read something from Kotaku and actually feel like it was a valuable article.
A valuable article or a good use of your time. Again, they might have some decent info in there if you're lucky. Like the person who wrote the article might it might just be the person writing the article has like a percent chance to accidentally be a person that's interested in the specific topic they're writing. By the way, they're normally not. They just have a limit of like a minimum word count that they have to fill, or a radical count, doesn't matter. Radical? Did I just say radical? I meant article. Like a minimum limit of how much shit they have to put out, and because of that, most of the content released is garbage. But granted, there are cases, you know, when someone just ends up writing an article about a game they like or whatever, and then the article ends up being somewhat decent. Now, with that in mind, still, there's absolutely no reason to read the Kotaku articles, because what you could do instead is go on YouTube and get one that's like the info is way more condensed. It's much more entertaining to watch. It's probably better presented, because the people who are making these YouTube videos aren't in as much of a rush, and they're working on their own schedule, so their stuff is just better. And so I really don't think the article culture is good on the internet. Just don't read articles if you have a better source of info available, which is most likely the case for most things. Just go read that instead.
It's so horrible that their name gets used as an insult. Like, hey pal, you just born from Stupid Town, and by Stupid Town we mean Kotaku. Or if you read like a completely unhinged article and can't remember where it came from.
Yeah, that's that's such a good point. Kotaku is on the internet is known as the guys that make shitty articles. You know, they're like articles on the internet in general. They are pretty low quality as is. Like the standard isn't high, guys. And for Kotaku to be known as the worst of those, that is like being the worst of the worst. That you're breaking the mold here.
The default is to assume it probably came from Kotaku, because it's become this factory of just fucking lunacy when it comes to some of their articles. So Kotaku recently was bemoaning on Twitter about...
That is not to say all internet articles are bad. Let me just mention that as well, because someone's going to be mad because, like, yeah, well, people publish research in articles and give you interesting data. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the average article.
Being blacklisted by Nintendo. They were unable to get a preview copy of Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom because Nintendo doesn't really want them touching their product.
Okay, so the question is, who is in the right here, right? Well, I don't know if that is the question. That's what I'm curious about. Naturally, Nintendo are like the most stingy little bitches in the world. Fuck Nintendo, really. Like, they are the most probably strict company I can think of. Like they hate their fans so much, and it kind of is this not a Cyberpunk situation? Like, really, whenever a game company are giving review copies of a game and yet they're not letting you publish info about it and only allow you to post the specific things the game is requesting, that should make you super suspicious in most cases. Like, I mean, we saw what happened when Cyberpunk did that, and it turned out great. Sorry about that, I started barking. You know, we saw what Cyberpunk did that, and we saw how that turned out. It was absolutely awesome. So, you know, this would make me concerned usually, but this is Nintendo we're talking about. They have a standard of, like, they have two standards, right? One, if it's Nintendo you're talking about, you can expect that 100% they will do anything they can to destroy their fans, and they'll hate everyone. That is a Nintendo guarantee. But the other Nintendo guarantee is that the game they'll release is usually going to be in a decent state. I mean, except for that one time. It's in a video we watched. I don't know which one, but maybe if you watched all my videos, you'll know. Anyways, I wonder. Like, I highly doubt that Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is in a horrible state to the point where they don't want the gameplay to be shared. Really, I think the real reason this is happening is because Nintendo are stupid and they think that you can't share any info on a game because it'll make people play it less or whatever. I mean, they don't even allow you to mod the game, so there's no discussion to be had here, right? It's just Nintendo being Nintendo.
Property anymore.
I don't know if you guys heard it, but they recently. Oh no, actually no, that's not recent anymore. No, I just remembered some old news. Never mind. Let's carry on.
And they're talking about, you know, it's cruel and bad, unprofessional, this and that.
It's not unprofessional and cruel. I'd say it's just Nintendo being stupid. It's just like, it's definitely not unprofessional. I disagree with that. It's just the way they operate. And now, granted, I do not think that is the best way to operate. If they were just transparent with what they're making, everyone would be happier, I believe. But, you know, it is what it is. We can't really do much about it.
To a certain extent, I would agree. Like, shutting down potential criticism from outlets is never a great look for a publisher.
Yeah, of course.
When it comes to Kotaku, there's very real merit and reason for blacklisting them, and Nintendo's not the only one.
Great point. Super good point. Like, they'd probably respond in the same way no matter who requested the thing, you know, requested to show footage of it, not just Kotaku. But granted, in this specific case, it is Kotaku requesting it, so they're in their right to deny an article that will most likely misrepresent something and just give you horseshit feedback. Like, why would you want incorrect feedback on your game? That is not something that you as a game dev want.
I am the furthest thing from a Nintendo defender. I've made more content shitting.
Yeah, same, me neither. In fact, in one of my videos recently, I talked about how I could probably go on for hours shitting on Nintendo, and I almost did. I think I spent a solid 30 minutes talking about how much I hate Nintendo. Maybe you've seen that one.
I have shitting in my own toilet. So this is very rare for me to like take up arms to agree with Nintendo.
Yeah, okay, but look at it this way. The fight is between Kotaku, the guys that make the worst content on the internet, the guys, you know what I mean, the company, or Nintendo, the company that makes great content but hates everyone who consumes it. Who am I supposed to defend? I guess in this case, it's not like I prefer one over the other. So really, the only way I'm going to form my opinion is based off of who is right in this specific case, which I'd say in this exact instance, Nintendo is in the right, guys. It's a Nintendo W. Don't let Kotaku. No, it's not even a W. It's just a evasion of an L.
Nintendo here. But like I said, they're not the only ones. They've been blacklisted by Bethesda, the Final Fantasy 14 team.
That's so good. Bethesda. I mean, okay, to be fair, Bethesda probably had their reasons for blast. Oh shit. Okay, no, this is making me concerned now, guys. Bethesda, right? You know the recent Bethesda game that came out, right? You guys know Redfall. You heard of Redfall? I made a video on it yesterday. Go watch it. No, Redfall is in a horrible state. I wonder why it was blacklisted by I wonder why Bethesda probably blacklisted a lot of news sites for it. Maybe they didn't want to share too much gameplay so that people wouldn't find out the state the game is in. That happened with Cyberpunk as well. Nah. But I doubt Nintendo would do this. But that is a possibility to consider. But I don't think so. In this case, it's just Nintendo have their stupid shit they like doing. But I don't think that this. I don't think this is it.
Kotaku is also blacklisted by a few other prominent developers that I can't quite recall off the top of my head right now.
That's fine.
But it's not just Nintendo, and the main reason for this is...
I'm not going to go fact check him, obviously, because... I mean, it's only natural that they would be like blacklisted by a lot of people, because why would you want your own game to receive incorrect press?
Because
whether it's negative or not.
Notorious for revealing things about games way before they're allowed to. Like
no, let me rephrase that. Incorrect press could be good so long as it's positive. So really specifically, incorrect negative press.
They will just leak very important information about property. I believe in like 2013 or something, they had leaked a lot of information about Fallout 4, which wasn't made public. They just released a ton of details about the game, which of course upset them.
What the yeah, no shit, Bethesda blacklisted you. What the fuck? Like, wow, really? You decided to leak a bunch of info that they provided you with so you could write a better article, just so you could go leak that shit to make a single article that would probably get a few more clicks before getting taken down and you losing your partnership with a huge ass company. What the fuck are you doing, guys? Like Kotaku. And I mean, it's probably not the higher ups deciding that that's a good idea, right? It's the guy that gets paid. It's the people writing the articles, because they get paid per how, like, you want more people to watch your article. Like that's how they get paid, based off of how many people read their shit. So naturally, they'd want to write about stuff that people will want to read. Now, I don't know if that is the case specifically on Kotaku, but that's how a lot of these places operate. It's either per word count or per how much people view your articles, or a mixture of both, usually that. But regardless, naturally, the people will be the people who write these articles will be encouraged to do reckless stuff, because if it's something bad, it's negatively affecting the company, not them. Why do they have to care about a company that barely pays them and they have to work their asses off for it? Of course you're going to care about your own well-being and leak the info if it means you get a bigger cash, a bit more cash this month, and you can afford to eat slightly better food, or you know, save up for a few better computers some years down the line. Like, no shit, that's the natural thing to do. So I think the real problem is the management style that encourages this kind of stuff.
For doing that. Now, a lot of people assume,
and that is a problem with a lot of articles. It's just a problem with articles in general.
Windows, because a lot of their articles are ridiculous. Like, sometimes they'll just like slyly encourage piracy, which is fucking wild for a gaming outlet to.
Okay, I see. Oh yeah, all right. I can see that being a thing. Depending on what game you're talking about. Let's say it's a free game. Okay, let's assume it's a free game. I could see a site like Kotaku reasonably covering that. Guys, did you know that you can play this free game on your Steam Deck? Did you guys know that? It's so cool. Like, sure, but this is clearly not the case.
Which is of course,
and it's with Nintendo, guys. Y'all know Nintendo hate their fans, right? I think I made that pretty clear. What do you think happens if you propagate piracy of Nintendo games? They are not going to be happy.
It's going to make Nintendo.
I can tell you that much.
Not only do they treat piracy
like no shit, you're going to get blacklisted.
Like a crime punishable by.
But then again, does it matter? No, it doesn't, because as I mentioned, it is in the best interest of these article writers to do this and hurt their website in the long run, because they don't care about their website in the long run. What they care about is themselves, because why would you give a shit about a corporate being?
By death, they treat anything that's even adjacent to modding as a crime punishable by death.
Yeah, I mean, there was the whole Point Crow situation, and that the only reason I could think of that one off the top of my head is because it's recent, but there's been a lot more, and a lot of that stuff happens to smaller channels, so it doesn't get as much attention.
So,
but that shit happens.
That definitely did have some level of impact, like a lot of their articles. Of course, they have the infamous.
Oh, if you don't know the Point Crow situation, he played a modded version of some Zelda. He made some modded videos on Zelda, and Nintendo went and put copyright strikes on his channel, two to be exact.
Where they tried to cancel Super Smash Bros. With a Joker DLC because one of the Kotaku writers thought they heard a slur in the background music. Which, of course, turned out to be a bunch of fucking nonsense, a whole load of hooey.
And here's the thing. Did they think they heard it? Or did they think they heard it on the first listen for a split second and decided to roll with it because that sounds like an article that would get a lot of clicks, whether it's right or wrong? And I definitely think it's the second option.
But they made a whole article about how Nintendo is ableist and this and that, slapping all of these awful labels on Nintendo, all because they misheard a lyric in the background track to a Super Smash Bros. Song. So Kotaku got blacklisted by Nintendo, meaning no Tears of the Kingdom coverage, which is...
And it's sad, because, like, who are we supposed to put on blast? Not the article writers, because they're just doing their best to, like, they're doing their job the correct way, trying to get as much attention as possible. So do we just blast Kotaku themselves? I suppose so, just the whole structure as a whole.
It's a huge hit to Kotaku because it's probably the biggest game coming out this year.
Yeah, of course. They're hurting their website a ton by losing their fucking affiliation with Nintendo. They
don't have access to it like all the other outlets, which means they're...
Oh, interesting. So all the other outlets do have access to Nintendo, to the new Nintendo game. It's specifically Kotaku they don't. Well, they screwed themselves over, didn't they? It seems like the management wasn't too strict on what they're allowed to publish and all. I wonder whose fault that is. Kotaku?
Losing out on those precious eyeballs, which means they're losing out on precious doubloons from advertiser dollars.
Yes.
So they got real petty. And as I talked about...
They got real petty and posted on Twitter. Let's go. Nintendo are bitches. They're horrible. Which, I mean, yes, true. But also, not in this context.
Yesterday, there was a huge leak where the entire game of Tears of the Kingdom has leaked online. It's now been streamed a lot of places.
There's no way.
There's a lot of information about it now because the game...
Guys, I made a video yesterday theorizing whether Tears of the Kingdom is going to be like a DLC or not. To be fair, my discussion points weren't as good as I liked because apparently, like, I watching the video back, I realized I didn't make a few of the points I wanted to make. But regardless, how did I miss this? Was it not leaked? But as of at the point of me recording that is very possible.
It's out there in the wild. It's Roman free.
That is fucking wild. When that happened to No Man's Sky, that hurt the game so much. That sucks when that happens to a game.
And Kotaku,
especially if it's not finished yet,
to just detail everything they can from the leaks. So once again, they're doing the very thing that they have been blacklisted by so many others.
Holy shit. Oh my god, that is so stupid. Man, how does this go through? Is there not a person that has to check these articles before allowing them to get released? Or like, you know, maybe... Okay, I can see that being a stupid system, because what if someone goes through the effort of writing an article for like 5 hours only for it to get deleted down the line? So maybe instead, before you even start writing the article, make it so you have to fact check with it with like some higher up to make sure it's okay to write, and then again fact check it again after it's done to make sure that it's okay to publish. Like, how is this? This feels like they don't have enough verification steps in their system. This is clearly a faulty fucking system.
Leaking information about a huge upcoming title that the developer, the publisher...
Let's actually read this text real quick. Everything we're learning about Zelda Tears of the Kingdom from the leaks. Guys, they're not even fucking trying to cover it up. They're literally calling it the leaks. And guys, here's info that we got from the leaks. I hope we can still work together with Nintendo because we love Nintendo, don't we?
That they have been blacklisted by so many others for. Leaking information about a huge upcoming title that the developer, the publisher, they don't want leaked. They wrote this article today going over everything they've learned from the Tears of the Kingdom leaks.
That is insane that that goes through.
This is extremely petty. They seem like they're doing it out of spite and revenge, like, you're going to blacklist us from Tears of the Kingdom? Well, too bad. We still watched all of the leaks. I mean, maybe Kotaku even downloaded the game.
Yeah, guys. So Nintendo tried to make it so they don't get access to the, you know, the preview build or whatever the fuck you call it. I forgot. The review build of the game. But who gives a shit? They got the leaked version, and it's the same thing. Sure, we didn't get the official permission from the company, but who gives a shit? It's not like they can stop us. It's the Wild West. It's the internet.
Already fucking got the pirated copy all cooked and ready to go, and
all Nintendo did is not give them the permission, not give them a version of the fucking pre-built the review version of the game. But guess what? It doesn't fucking matter if there's already a proper version of the game out, and they could just play around with that instead and have it way earlier than the average person, because the average dude doesn't find out about these leaks. I mean, here's me as an example, you know what I mean?
Already have a lot of articles in the chamber to start writing this shit about it. It's very possible, but...
Man, I can't believe 20 minutes into the reaction, I'm still defending Nintendo. This is actually crazy. Well, I'm not defending Nintendo. Okay, no. I'm not, that's not what I'm doing, guys. Sorry, fuck. Let me backtrack on that completely. No. That's not what's happening. Okay, no. What's actually going on is I am blasting Kotaku in defense of Nintendo, but that is...
Now that
that is crazy.
Kingdom leaks are out there, Kotaku is taking it upon themselves to pretty much just write a whole article going over everything about the game, spoiling it.
Fuck yeah.
What another great look for Kotaku here.
Yeah.
Having a little temper tantrum and getting the last laugh. Your game leaked. So now we're going to spoil it for everyone on our site.
Oh my god,
weird.
that's such a fucking...
A pretty fucking awful website. I don't know how it still operates. I really don't.
Yeah, like they're getting blacklisted by everyone left and right. I mean, clearly their lax system of letting any article through is what helps them stay up. Like, it is what hurts it is what hurts their news platform the most, in the way that, you know, people get mad and they get blacklisted by lots of companies and shit. But at the same time, that system is the only reason people still read them. It's because they have these insane articles that nobody else is gonna write, because they understand that it's stupid to write those, because they're just gonna get blacklisted by all the companies that they're covering. So I mean, it's almost, I almost want to call the Kotaku management team brave, if that makes sense, but like in the negative way. No, not brave. Okay, reckless and stupid. Okay, that'd be a better way to put it.
A horrible reputation, and I never really see anyone defending it.
Yeah.
Ever.
Nobody defends it, and yet people still read those because there's just the info, like the titles, man. The clickbait goes hard. It's 2013 YouTube all over again.
I don't know who's going there to read their articles and actually engage with them. Occasionally there are a few articles that Kotaku does publish that are informative on an important topic. Like, I do agree there are some decent articles that...
Well, yeah, but with so many people writing so many things, there's bound to be something that someone could be interested in that they will write about.
That they'll make. But those are few and far between. It is so rare. Most of it's just the most nonsensical, unhinged garbage over fucking nothing. Or just like blatantly like doing things that are shady and scummy, like leaking all this information and then crying when it turns out, well, these developers don't want to work with you anymore.
That's the best part to me, that they actually went on Twitter and made a fucking sad post about it. We're at 5:58, guys. Okay, the timestamp is 5:58. Please remember this shit, because I'm about to go move in the timeline of the video to here again. Let's see this Twitter post. It's preview day for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Unfortunately, Nintendo still has it blacklisted from advanced coverage, a move I would argue is both unprofessional and coercive. Isn't that right, guys? It's just unprofessional and coercive. It's 5:58, right? We're going back to 5:58. Here we go. It's crazy that they actually went and did that. I wonder if that's a thought-out business move to get some attention. You know, do the good all attention is good attention strat, or if they're actually just stupid. Like, I wonder which of the two it is.
Your own fucking fault. Like, just look in the mirror, Kotaku. The reason you are blacklisted by Nintendo and didn't get Tears of the Kingdom is for exactly what you've just done now, with leaking everything.
Yeah.
It's comical. It's an entire fucking circus over there at Kotaku.
It is so dumb.
I've also talked about this in another video, but honestly, with the way Kotaku articles are, I really wouldn't be surprised to see in like another 2 to maybe 3 years, they just fully make the switch to ChatGPT generated articles. No. I bet your ass that some of the writers writing Kotaku articles are already spamming the shit out of it and saving themselves a bunch of time. I already lost both of my testicles placing bets that are incorrect. So on this channel. So what do? Okay, I'll place my right pinky on the fact that there is someone over at Kotaku that already spams ChatGPT to speedrun their articles, and I bet that shit works flawlessly, because the article doesn't need to be good, right? There's no quality control for them, clearly, so you may as well use ChatGPT to help you out. Have it write a generic article about a topic, then do a little bit of minor adjustments, and here we go. You can pump them out at triple the speed of everyone else, get triple the cash, which now, instead of getting paid $1 an hour, you get paid $3, which is woo! I made a video going over how ChatGPT can already do like this dog shit journalism pretty well.
Yeah, exactly. Dog shit journalism is called dog shit for a reason. Because it's dog shit. And guess what? Stuff that doesn't require you to be smart, it turns out, is pretty easily replicatable by a AI language model that read the whole of the internet. The internet isn't smart, and so it's great at copying shit that's stupid.
Where the prompt was to write like some kind of outrage gaming piece and then include Elon Musk somehow.
Yeah, feed it a billion articles, bro. It's gonna nail that shit.
And it found a way of...
In fact, it's already had all... If you're using the Bing chatbot, for example, that shit has all of the Kotaku articles in its database. Bro, you can tell it to write one and it'll do it flawlessly. Just all you'll need to do is feed it some info about the specific game you're talking about, like the specific points you want the article to cover, and then ask it to pad out the runtime of the article so that when you show it to management, they're gonna be like, oh yes, 2,000 word count, beautiful piece.
Doing it that actually read exactly like an article from Kotaku. And I feel like as Kotaku continues to circle the drain and go straight down the shitter, I feel like they're going to just all go fucking hog wild.
Well, yeah, their strat of going really hard and just getting getting like in these insanely clickbaity articles that people just go crazy over and that get them bad press with companies will eventually come back to bite them in the ass once nobody agrees to share the info with them anymore. But for now, it's a super explosive, effective strat to get them a bunch of views well, really, that's it. A bunch of views in their articles, and therefore doubloons.
Using AI to write their articles just to keep pumping out this rage bait.
Oh, that's not what he's talking about. Never mind.
Nonsense. Like, I really do think that. I'm not making a joke. I really.
Yeah, I agree. I'd say again, I'm betting my fucking right pinky on the fact that somebody at Kotaku is already doing that.
Kotaku will be the first major publication to just fully adopt AI-generated articles because they're getting that desperate. They're grasping at straws, and they have been for quite some time. Like, a lot of the things Kotaku will write these days is, like, very much trying to incite...
But think about this, right? If you have to write, like, some crazy amount of articles, we'll say 3 per day, and they all have to be a specific amount of words, there is no way in hell, and it has to be an article on something other people haven't covered too much on your website, right? Otherwise, otherwise it's just going to be repeats. And with how much shit they're putting out, like, you kind of have to write a bunch of nothingness eventually, right? You can't have banger after banger, and it's not like you have any bangers in the first place. So so okay, you know what? How about we level it down? Instead of saying banger after banger, you can't have mediocre after mediocre after mediocre after mediocre forever, because once you have enough of them, you run out of mediocre shit to talk about, and then you go to the low tier stuff.
Kind of anger, but it's completely baseless and doesn't really have a good reason for anyone to be angry. So
but the rage baiting works.
It just comes across as more laughable and pathetic.
Right? I mean, if it wasn't an effective strat, nobody would be doing it.
But there's still that is their bread and butter.
Yeah, exactly.
Making articles that are supposed to make you mad over some issue that actually nobody cares about.
And it doesn't. And the best thing about this is that to them, it doesn't matter if you get mad at the Kotaku article itself and you think it's shit and it shouldn't have said what it did say. Or if you get mad at the content that they're covering and actually get influenced by what they're saying. You know, they tell you that this mechanic in the game that lets you heal is actually dumb because the game shouldn't have healing. And whether you get angry at the game for having healing in this context or at Kotaku for thinking that that is a good idea, they don't give a shit. What matters is that you'll share the article to your friend to tell them, look at this, read this article, look how stupid it is, man, Kotaku is so dumb. And then the friend is going to be, oh yeah, it sure is, let me post a video on YouTube about how stupid it is. And then everyone's going to go read the article, and suddenly they're getting money for it. And whoever wrote it is getting the biggest W of all. And management, the guys that decided to let this horseshit article through, are taking most of the cash. So really, the biggest W goes to the people who are allowing them to post all this dumb crap.
Falls flat. But it continues to just ruin the reputation of this already horribly perceived website.
But again, I think they're a glass cannon. They no. Okay, bad example to use. They're gonna fly too close to the sun eventually. It's a matter of time.
So yeah, I'm just ranting a lot about Kotaku now. I'm not even on the same topic here with the Nintendo blacklist and the leaks from them.
I mean, hey, if I stayed on topic, I wouldn't have had 30 minutes of shit to talk about in this video. So no, I totally get it. I
don't like that site. I also just don't like the entire state of journalism right now in the gaming industry.
Let's go. He actually mentioned it. Oh, I pre-watched, guys. Fucking pre-watched. I'm glad I talked about this stuff. I love when I talk about something and then the YouTuber mentions it, and it's always so fun to fucking see.
So few good journalists in the gaming space. And in this case here, I'm honestly pretty happy.
Well, the good journalists right now are YouTubers. I mean, the review I watched yesterday about Redfall was an absolute fucking banger. By the way, guys, watch my reaction to it or the initial review. I don't care, but probably both, to be honest, because they're both fun.
Kotaku did get blacklisted. I really do think that's a good thing. Maybe there'll be some self-reflection down the line, like, oh man, the reason our company's fucking sinking.
No, that's not happening.
Is because we're terrible at what we're supposed to be doing.
And if self-reflection does happen, and they eventually notice that, guys, this shit doesn't work. It's not like they're gonna be able to suddenly become a good company, and then all the other brands are gonna go say, oh, I'm sorry for thinking you guys were stupid. You guys are good now. Okay, we're going to let you use our stuff again. No, all the other companies are going to say, fuck you. So what's actually going to happen is whoever runs Kotaku is going to go and make a new game journalism site, which is going to be good now with the cash they have, right? Why would they try to revitalize Kotaku when you could just start something new and then let this thing die out? Like, if Kotaku ever starts dying out, I don't think it's going to get revitalized by suddenly making them self-reflect or whatever. I think what would actually happen is most likely, A, take the bank, take the cash that you made so far, and just run, you know, sell the site off to someone, have them try to revitalize it, and probably fail, maybe succeed, you never know. But the main people that ran Kotaku, they will either make a new website that will go down the exact same path that Kotaku did, but it will take them a little bit of time again before they get blacklisted by everyone. And so that's another spike of cash they can live off of, and they can just keep repeating that cycle forever until internet articles die, which, God, fuck, that could be pretty soon, to be honest. I don't even know with how quickly technology is advancing, or, you know, the threat of automation and all that. We're going to be replaced, guys. Even YouTubers are going to be replaced by AI in a couple of years. But yeah, no, jokes aside, I really don't think any of this will go truly punished.
So I think the blacklist from Nintendo is honestly justifiable here.
I agree with that, but I think in the grand scheme of things, it just doesn't fucking matter. Because it's not like they can't cover Nintendo content just because they got blacklisted. No, they'll go grab leaks instead. Maybe they'll hire someone to go to another game journalism site, grab the info they got, and then come back here. And I wonder how illegal that is. You know, is that allowed? Probably not.
Something like Kotaku, like they're not owed access to their products.
Yeah, of course.
There's no obligation from developers to give Kotaku early access.
It is a thing game devs should do: give early access to game news and reviews and shit, so that people can see that their game is in fact not going to be a scam, and those that want to buy the game the moment it comes out will not be lied to with the new footage or with what they were showing. But at the same time, you don't have to give your things to the bad actors, you know?
No matter how much they try and argue that there just fucking isn't. And there's really no value in letting Kotaku play the games early, because it seems like the only thing they care about is somehow making like a clickbait piece around it, as opposed to actually giving any kind of insightful or meaningful information about it most of the time. So, yep, just wanted to talk about this situation a little bit. That's about it. So, yep.
That was great. That was great. I feel so informed, even though it was just an 8-minute video. Let's go big cam for a sec. 8 minutes. 8 minutes. Wait, let me go bigger. 8 minutes of hard facts. Oh, no. Cold, hard facts. Smiley face, double smiley face. I really don't know what that's supposed to mean. Well, guys, if you open the description, first link you'll see is a link to the video that we just watched. And what you guys should do is open it up and give Charlie's video a watch if you haven't seen it already. If you have, you can go in to at least like my own comment and, you know, raise me to the top of his video. And at the same time, you can rewatch it on mute just to give it another view, so that my watching of his content doesn't somehow negatively impact his views. That's what we do for all the channels we watch. I think that's the right thing to do. And I would self-plug at this point. This is where I normally tell people to sub and shit. But I don't think it does anything. I mean, I'll tell you to sub because I like seeing the number grow. But I don't think it actually helps my channel. Like, maybe it does. I don't know. Just subscribe. Just do it. It doesn't. It's not difficult. Liking the video does nothing, though. I am pretty convinced that liking the video does literally nothing. So don't. I mean, you can do it if you feel like it, but I don't think it'll do much. Okay. Goodbye. Goodbye, I guess. That's all I had to say. It's 36 minutes of an 8-minute video reaction, so clearly there was lots of content to talk about. I'm pretty happy with this one. See you in the next one. Bye!